Good morning, gentlemen. We would be talking today about what we call a projection. Projection is one of the defense mechanisms, and we are told that when you go for SSB, psychologist test of thematic upper session test and WAT, that is word association test, is nothing but a projection. And so it is pertinent that all aspirants of SSB must understand what projection is. This projection and understanding projection is not only going to help SSB aspirants, but it is also going to help common people only, because there's one thing which we are unconsciously doing it on, they are projecting onto ourselves, and we are also projecting on others. So, gentlemen, let's go back and have look on what is a projection. What is projection? Projection is a projection is the process. Process is a process of displacing one's feeling, behavior, emotions, impulses, undesirable characteristics, and thoughts onto different person, animal, object, or even a story, as in the case of TAT, where projection of self is on the hero or the character chosen. The mental process by which people attribute to others what is their own mind in the mind is, that is, seeing the self in other. Commonly, it is used to describe defensive projection, that is, attributing one's own unacceptable urges to another. For example, a person who is a bully will always ridicule others, that peer or all the people, for their insecurities, but he himself is projecting his own struggle with self-esteem. A married man who is attracted to a female employee, a co-worker, might accuse her of flirting rather than admitting to himself. A person with complex of being antisocial may write a story in TAT about antisocial. Similarly, a pessimistic person may write stories wherein hero or other character dies or gets hurt in TAT stories. Unconscious discomfort can lead to people attributing unaccepted feelings or impulses to someone else to avoid confronting them. Projection allows the difficult trait to be addressed without the individual fully recognizing themselves. At a social level, it may be, we talk about racism, sexism, xenophobia, and other malignant othering mindsets are also attributed to projection. Paranoid states such as fears of persecution, irrational hatred of an individual or a group, consuming jealousy, erotomania, etc., are also a result of projection of unconscious negative state of mind, which may be hostility, envy, hatred, contempt, vanity, sadism, lust, greed, weaknesses, anything else. Okay, so if that is the case now, concept of uh, defense mechanism concept was initially given by Simon Freud, which was later developed by his daughter Anna Freud, and then Carl Jung, who is attributed with word association test, and others also argued that projection is a technique to protect themselves against the fear of unknown. He said, people project archetypal ideas, that is, what are archetypal ideas? A collectively inherited unconscious idea, a pattern of thought, image, etc., that is universally present in individual psyches onto things they don't understand as part of natural response to the desire for a more predictable and clearly patterned world. More recently, research has also challenged original through its hypothesis of project being a defend their egos. Common types of projections are neurotic projection. This occurs when one creates someone else with undesirable emotion, thoughts, or behavior. For example, someone being dishonest may believe that those close to him are deceitful. In TAT, or thematic perception test, the writer may attribute his negative thought to the hero. That is nothing but neurotic projection. Complementary projection. This happens when a belief that we believe, when we believe other hold the same belief as we have. For example, a family of practicing a particular religion, maybe Hinduism or any other religion, assumes that all family members will also follow the same belief. May or may not be true. Next is complementary projection, wherein people use the projection type when they assume others have similar abilities. For example, your partner may be something great in probably mathematics or budgeting, and you think you have also the same same type of qualities. In TAT, writer may attribute good qualities to the hero which he himself would be having. So that's a very positive. That's one way of projecting your own qualities. In SS, we call it obsess-like qualities, and there are 15 such qualities. So it is prudent on the part of all aspirants to follow this complementary projection. What is being projected may not necessarily align with the thoughts, feelings, beliefs, or action of the person. Onto him it is being projected. Many times, especially in my experience with assessment of dojers, tells me that in TAT, writer may tell or write a story which he has read from book, and the quality shown may not be his own. Why does he that? Because he has been tutored that this is what he should do, and he tries to copy and cut and paste. That is what in our terminology we can talk about it. What are the causes of projection? Projection is an unconscious process that protects the ego from unacceptable thoughts and impulses. Hence, attributing those tendencies to others allows the person to place themselves above and beyond those urges, while still being able to observe them from far. So you want to be onlooker. Although unconscious, these patterns can be brought to the conscious awareness with the help of therapist. There's a link between narcissism and projection. Individuals with narcissistic traits display an exaggerated sense of self-importance, a need for administration, and lack of empathy towards others. People with narcissistic tendency are likely to engage in projection by projecting their image onto others. Trauma may be another region of projection. A person who has experienced stressful or traumatic event may struggle to cope with aftermath of that situation. What did he do? As a result, they are left with feeling fearful or powerless. So projection may allow a person to separate themselves from the trauma that he had faced. However, this may lead to them to project intense emotions onto others. Though projection may be give them a temporary relief, it can fuel feelings of anxiety and mistrust and impact the relationship and mental health as well. People tend to project because they have a trait or desire that is too difficult to acknowledge. Rather than confronting it, they cast it away onto someone else. This functions to preserve their self-esteem, making difficult emotions more tolerable. It is easier to attack or witness wrongdoing in another's person than confront that possibility in one's own behavior. How a person acts towards the target of projection might reflect how they really are. Okay. Next. Next, we'll talk next session, we'll talk about projection and identity. Just to give a brief idea, there's a self. We all got a self, a part of it that is real, unique, and essential. Then we talk S. Us is which can be seen as distinct from what we have incorporated as an identity. That is not who we actually are. Based on others' projection, rejection, action, reaction towards us. So what others are feeling about it, I may not be the same that others think, but with the passage of time, I start believing what others are saying is true. That is what you call projection identity. And if that is true, how much of me is really authentic self and how much real is my identity? Well, it's a question will have to be identified by the individual himself. When people project the stuff onto us, then to act as if their projection has something to do with who we really are. They treat us as if their projections were valid. And if we are vulnerable, we tend to believe that they are describing something real about us, something that we may not even be able to see. So we say, they say I am good, bad, what were you trying to, and I guess I am. So it means it is not your understanding. It since others are telling that you are such and such person, you start believing them. More authentic if projections come from significant family members, an influence so great that we tend to repeat their projective word so frequently that it becomes very difficult for us to believe that what they are saying is not true. Imagine, as a child, your mother, father keeps telling you, you're not good, you're not studying. So after some time, since they are telling continuously about it, you also have the tendency to believe that it is so. If that is the case now, gentlemen, we would be talking about other part of projection in our next video, wherein we will talk about project identity. It's not only that what others are projecting us, we are also projecting every time on others as well. So it is, in my opinion, we must understand what we are projecting others and what others are projecting about it. Can we get over this problem? Or can we understand if someone is projecting on us? Can we also understand what we are projecting on others so that we remain a good human, what God has made us to be? Thank you, gentlemen. Nice again, we meet for the next video on projection identity. Thank you.